Hello everybody, welcome to the channel if you are new here, welcome back if you are not. It's Baby Jesus here with another gold making / gathering guide, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at fungi, more specifically warm plate caps. Now you've seen them in the world, they are bright orange, you can't miss them, they spawn before everything else and you can see them a mile away. But before we get too far into the nitty gritty here, I do just want to say if you find anything beneficial in this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything and it truly helps us out here. Now, if you don't like the video, make sure you leave me a comment down below on how I can improve on future content. Now, without further ado, let's hop right into it. I love these items. I've loved them from the start. The warm plate caps, they drop plate cap flesh, which I'm sure you guys have seen before. The bright orange, like I said, you can't miss them. And why I've always loved them is they've always been a sleeper. And this is what I mean by that. You guys can see they sell for 2 gold a piece, which is nothing to shake a stick at. But what's so nice about them is very little people are gathering them. A lot of people use them, and they sell for a fair amount, which is like the perfect down spot in the market, if you will. There's a lapse in the market when it comes to these items, and they sell really, really fast because of it. When I initially went to make my video, there was way more of these on the market, albeit I am on a medium pop server, but now we're down to 1 on the market and it's selling for 2 gold. Everything before that was selling for between 1.5 to 1.7, give or take. Now the only thing on here is 2. There was some for 4 earlier, but I'm assuming they might have taken them down or sold. But I don't know why they would have sold when there's 2 on the market. But hey, I have no idea. But in this one, guys, I'm going to show you my average numbers that I've gotten whenever I tried gathering these, as well as the route that I've used, and give you a couple of options as to what you can do when you're gathering them. Without further ado, let's hop right into the nitty-gritty of it. So, because this is a fungi, you are going to get a ton of different drops. You can get base mushrooms, you can get these plate cap flesh, which are only going to drop from the warm plate caps, or plate cap fungus. You can get toadstool fringe, you can get just mushroom fins, fungal slime. You can also get, I believe they're glowing mushrooms. Glowing mushroom caps as well, which if you get some of these, if you increase your luck, you can get a ton of these, and this is going to increase your gold astronomically. Unfortunately, I didn't get any in any of my test runs, so they must be extremely uncommon to get. But you can get all of those. These are all going to be viable drops when you're gathering these, and if you increase your luck, you can astronomically increase your gathering skill. Now, full disclosure, I can only speak for my server when we're talking about this, and more specifically, I didn't use any PvP, so my luck was normal, my gathering rate was normal. I didn't use any gear for harvesting to increase my rarity or increase my chances of drops. I went base level of just my Star Metal Sickle. And the average amount of items that I was getting every 15 minutes, so you can multiply this by 4 to get your hourly rate, is as follows. I was averaging, these are all plus or minus, obviously these are just my averages. I ran it 5 times across 2 different routes. So one route I ran 3 times and one route I ran twice, and the plus minus is very, very small variance actually. It's only about 1 to 2 of almost everything minus these. So of 1 or 2 more mushrooms or less, 1 or 2 more plate caps or less. The toadstool fringe, fungal slime, and mushroom fins are the uncommon drops involved in this, and they were a little more uncommon. But this was the average, but it had a much larger dispersion. Sometimes I got none, sometimes I got 8 for the toadstools, but thankfully, or not thankfully I guess, they aren't worth very much. So they aren't going to change your average gold per hour all that much. So you guys can see here, in 15 minutes, I was able to gather 80 mushrooms. Now, what's nice about this is we were going for the plate caps. Anything you're getting above and beyond them is, all pun intended, gold. It's perfect. And what's even better about it is not only are you getting additional resources, but you're hedging your bet. If the cost of plate caps go down, but the cost of mushrooms go up, or the inverse, your gold per hour shouldn't be too affected unless it's absolutely drastic. And with the new patch that's going to come out, I'm assuming that the cost of cooking materials is going to be adjusted and is going to probably go up a little bit, but we can touch on that at another time. But regardless, you guys can see here, I gathered on average 80 mushrooms at 1.28 gold is what they're selling for right now. They might have changed since I made my calculations, but yeah, it's 1.28 still, which is a fair amount. I don't think that's high. It's actually probably a bit lower than it normally is, but you can still see there are a ton available at the lower amounts. So I just went with the lowest one. Be conservative. If you guys make more gold per hour, all the power to you. You guys see I did get 99 plate caps, and you guys did see earlier they're selling at 2 gold a piece, which is very fair. And you guys can see in 50 minutes I was gathering just shy of 100 on average of these plate caps, and that's going to give you about 200 gold just shy of. I was getting 2 of these toadstool fringe. Now, they are surprisingly not valuable. They're not super common, but nonetheless, they're selling for only about $1 a piece. So, nothing to write home about, but hey, it's still extra gold. It's still extra gold. We don't argue with that. The next one you can get on here is the fungal slimes. Those are worth even less. They're worth about 50 cents. Again, nothing crazy. You can get those fungal spores as well, is something that I always forget. They're another drop that'll drop from fungi. And again, these are slightly more valuable. And that's the nice thing about this. You're going to get so many different items that you're always going to have something that's going to sell. And if one thing is selling less, one thing might be selling more. So unfortunately, I didn't get any of those spores, but I did get some of the slime. And lastly, the last thing I got was mushroom fins, which are not very valuable, but they sell very quickly. They're used for Arcana crafting, and you can get them from any fungi, and you guys can see it. They're only selling for about 20 cents. Again, nothing to write home about. You guys can see this guy might be off his rocker. You could probably get closer to 30 cents, but well, again, we'll be conservative. Now, all of these numbers to say, the big things you're going to care about are the actual mushrooms themselves as well as the plate caps. Now, if you can get those glowing mushroom caps as well, those are going to boost your gold astronomically because they're worth about 15 gold a piece, if not more. That might be on the low end. I don't know what your server's looking like. But if you're getting a bunch of those, if you're increasing your luck by getting as much harvesting gear on as possible, you can probably boost this number up much, much higher. But being strictly conservative regarding this, you guys can see here, every 50 minutes I was getting just north of 300 gold, which is going to get you just over 1,200 gold an hour. Not the most impressive number, but consistent. And what I love about this is that it is all the items here move fast. The plate cap flesh, for some reason, sells insanely fast. And mushrooms are used in a ton of different recipes for cooking, so they sell like hotcake as well. The toadstool fringe, the fungal slime, and the mushroom fins do sell decently well, but nothing in comparison to this. So these are really going to be your money makers when it comes to this route, if you will. Now, speaking of route, there are a few that you can take. I have come up with a couple myself. You guys can blend them. You guys can use them however you'd like to. But I'm just going to show you guys a rough look at what it is whenever I'm running this route. Okay, guys? So just to give you an idea, the whole thing takes place just north of... just north of Cutlass Keys. Pardon me. Cutlass Keys is literally right here at this little Y intersection. You can actually see it just poking out of the bottom here. So you're going to go to Cutlass Keys, and you're going to start by doing this here. So we're going to just pull up our draw, and we're going to change this. We're going to do 2 routes, okay? So we're going to do 2 colors. We're going to do the first route in blue, and we're going to change the thickness here so it doesn't get too crazy. And this is the route that's going to be the most convenient because it's in a loop, so you can just run it in perpetuity. So your first gather of the plate caps is going to be right here. From there, I'm going to make that a bit thicker. That's pretty small. I'm going to make it 4. There we go. So you're going to gather right here. You're going to go from here. There's a double spawn. After you gather here, you're going to cross the road, stay in the dark area, and go up to these rocks here. Afterwards, you are going to head up to this little Y intersection. And then you're going to have a nice little hike, but you're going to go all the way over to this little alcove here. After you've gathered that one, you're going to come into the bottom of this valley, and there's a nice little double or triple spawn, depending if you're lucky or not. After you've got that, you're going to head up along this cliff. There's another spawn right here. Another one up on the peak of this rock by the road, and then across here. After you've gathered that, you're going to head over to this little outcropping right here. You're going to go due north afterwards, all the way up to this rock. There's a spawn right on the backside of it. After you've gotten to that rock, you're going to head over to this little cave here. There's some wolves. You gather the 2 spawns that are right here. After you've done that, you're going to head up to this little bend in the road and across in between here. That bend has one right here, and there's one right at the end as well. After you've gathered those, you are going to head straight down to this little rock right here. You're going to head straight across to the farm. You're going to go around the bend right here and then across right in here. Afterwards, you're going to head your way right back down to your starting area. Now, that should get you roughly the same amount that I got. That should take you about 15 minutes. If you guys decide you want to, you can also head up there's a few more that spawn in here. If you find that you're doing it a little bit too fast, you can come up. There's one here, there's one here, there's a spawn here, and there's a spawn here as well. Now, the second route that you can do that isn't a perfect loop and doesn't bring you back to your starting area, it's a one-way trip, and it's going to bring you up to the Arcana gate, which is nice because you can just fast travel back to somewhere if you have the Azoth to do so. Now, where it is you're going to start down on this area here. We're going to run alongside our known route already. We're going to go here. We're going to run up to this side. We're going to go across to this point here. We're going to go up this little bay to this one here. We're going to go across to gather this one. Come across to this farm. Across the river to that. And we're going to go straight up here. Now, from here is where it's going to differ. You're going to head due north. Gather these ones up here that spawn. You're going to gather these ones that spawn right here. Right here, pardon me. You're going to go across the river. Or the road, pardon me, towards the river to go right here. Then you're going to head up to the farm, and you're going to gather the ones that spawn here, here, and on the back side of the rocks is going to be another double spawn. After you've gathered those, you're going to head up to the road to gather the other ones that spawn right here. You're going to head up to the back side of this cliff on this side of the right-hand side of that rock, and then you're going to go to the left side of the rock, and there's another spawn. After you've gathered those ones, you're going to cross the road, and you're going to head up and stay on the left-hand side of the road. There's going to be some that spawn at the bottom of the hill right here, and then at the top of the hill as well. After you've gathered those, you're going to head to the northeast side of this lake. Right here, there's another spawn. And from there, you're going to head due east all the way right here, which is the Arcana gate. And that's where it's going to end. So from there, you can fast travel wherever you want. You can walk all the way back if you'd like to. You can fast travel back down to Cutlass Keys, pardon me, which is, again, right here. Or if you guys want, you can make this sort of hybrid route where you start with the blue and you come around like this, up across, or across down this way, up this way, across to this little farm here, back across, and jump and try and mix them all together and up at the Arcana gate. It's entirely up to you. But I just want you guys to know that there are a multitude of opportunities, a multitude of different routes that you can take to go and gather these plate caps. And each route, the red and the blue, both take roughly 15 minutes. So if you merge them together, you can do it in half an hour, and you can run it twice in an hour, and that's going to give you virtually the exact same amount of gold per hour that you were already getting. With one of the routes, it's just now you have to fast travel. So if you just run the blue one in perpetuity and potentially adding in this extra little spot right here, you can get well over 1,200 gold per hour pretty consistently, and it's fast gold. You don't have to wait a long time in the market. That's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you found it beneficial. I hope you found it informational. If you did like it, please, again, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you didn't like it, make sure to leave me a comment down below. I do read all the comments, and I try my best to improve my content for all of you. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves, be kind, and have a great day. See ya!